Ali Shams Khuzani. I think it
Thank
took
you.
me like 5 seconds to say it, right?
Hello, this is Patrick from Startups.zone, and today we're with a young guy who is very popular in Malaysia already. It's Alish. Alish, welcome to Startups.zone.
Hi Patrick. Hi guys. It's me again, Alish. I'm not so popular, but thanks for the compliment. Thanks for inviting me here, and I'll be glad to share the little thing I know.
Great. Thank you very much for coming.
My pleasure.
And before we agreed that I can just address you as Alish, because that's also what you're known, but maybe you can say once for the audience your entire full name.
Okay, you probably may not get it right, but it's okay, I can pronounce it once for you. Ali Shams Khuzani. I think it took me like 5 seconds to say it, right?
Thank you,
Let's
Alish.
stick with Alish, yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much. And again, thanks a lot for coming. I think you're quite popular. You're heading the LinkedIn local Kuala Lumpur chapter. For that, you're organizing some of the events that I was also able to attend. It's quite cool to be there. We come to that a little bit later. But now, first, of course, we want to know who you are. We know you're from Iran,
Yep.
but then everything else we don't know yet. So
Okay.
please let us know about yourself, where you grow up, and how you came to Malaysia.
Sure. Okay. I was born and raised in Iran for like 16, 17 years. And I was in high school when I decided to come here to Malaysia and continue my studies. So I finished my high school, and then over time more and more came, and now I'm bringing my degree all these years that I've been here. So studies was always a part of what I was doing in Malaysia, but at the same time, like on the side, I usually do other stuff. Working, I'm also doing some voluntary works, for example LinkedIn local, and some others for students. So basically I think that could be a short introduction of what I'm doing,
Of course.
yeah, study, work, voluntary stuff.
Nice. Okay, let's go back to your studies. What is the reason you choose Malaysia to continue your studies? Why you came from Iran to Malaysia?
Malaysia is actually a good country in a sense that first, in terms of culture, it is kind of close to Iran. Both are Muslim countries. And at the same time, it's quite affordable. Let's be honest,
okay.
right?
Yeah, I agree with you.
If I want to go to Europe or Australia, it may not be about the same thing, the cost of living, etc. So that's one thing. But the most important thing why my parents allowed me to come here during high school at that age was I had a lot of relatives here before.
Oh, okay.
Now most of them are gone, like one by one. But when I came, I had a lot of relatives here, and that's where my parents were, more confident to allow me to come here.
But that means your parents stay in Iran still,
Yes,
and then
yes.
they send you to studies here.
That's right, yeah.
And then you stayed here.
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't part of the plan to be here for like all this, like this long. But so far I've been here and I like it.
Okay,
Why not?
Great. Yeah, sure. I say the same when people ask me
Yeah.
why Malaysia, I say why not. But is there like major differences in like the education system that made you go away from Iran and study or continue your studies in Malaysia?
For me, actually, it wasn't like going away from a certain thing and joining another thing. It was more of exploring a new way, a new place, a new location, a new culture, a new group of people. I love country, and when I was there, the most I studied there was high school, and all these years, it was really enjoyable. It wasn't useful or not up to standards. Just that I came here to try a different thing. Like for example, Ronaldo was doing great in Real Madrid, but he joined Juventus recently to try a different thing, a new challenge.
Okay, that's about the challenge, and I think like we can see that later, like throughout your life, right? There's always look out for new challenges and new things to do. And so let's try to talk a little bit about LinkedIn Local. So can you explain first what the chapter is about, or what is the idea behind LinkedIn Local? Because it's a global thing, right?
Yeah,
in
that's
the
right.
end, and so you're just I mean, you're heading the entire KL chapter, but what is it about? What is this initiative about?
So LinkedIn Local, it started in Australia back in 2017, like May or June. Anna McCoffey, she was a LinkedIn user, and nowadays we all have a lot of connections, followers, friends online on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. But we don't actually know each other well. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know, how we can collaborate more. We can't have that human factor in it. It's just a number. Like, you can show off that, hey, I have this number of followers, but there's no point in it because there's no meaning into that number. So this lady was trying to get the most out of her online connections to meet them offline.
Okay.
So she put out a post and asked everyone if they would like to come and meet up and get to know each other. It was as simple as that. That's where the tagline also comes from, meeting the people behind the profile.
Yeah. Okay.
Online, you may not we may not know exactly 100% who you are, what you're doing, but when you come offline, you meet, you talk, you have conversations. That's where all the real stuff starts. So the idea was so great until even LinkedIn CEO commented on her post saying that it's a great initiative and keep it up and stuff. Then right after that, in New York, and if I'm not mistaken in London, as well as Toronto if I'm not mistaken, they all did the same thing. And it was there that it just it was like a great start. And now after about less than 2 years, what I know is that about 1,000 cities are involved in LinkedIn Local around the world. The frequency of their events are different. Some may have like once in a month, one may have like twice a month or once in 2 months. The frequency is different, but what I know is that there are about 1,000 LinkedIn Local hosts around the world who are doing a similar thing.
In only 2 years, that's like really
less than 2 years.
Very fast.
Yes, exactly. The idea was really good, and I think that's why people are trying more to organize it. At the same time, more people are trying to participate in these events because this is a real, I think, in my opinion, it is one of those events that it is genuine. It is not to hard sell stuff to you. It is not to advertise stuff or use your database as their newsletter recipients. This is why people also loved it more. So the further we go, the more are joining.
And you combine it, right? You always have like, at least here in KL, you have like a panel, so you have like 3-4 people talking about a dedicated topic, and then followed by the networking section.
So when we started in January 2018 in KL, okay, let's do a flashback to late 2017, where I also had a similar idea. I wanted to do a series of networking events for professionals to come get around and meet up and stuff. But at that point, I had no idea what LinkedIn Local was about. It was only a few months old. So I discussed the idea with some friends, and they told me, some of them introduced me to the idea of LinkedIn Local. That's where I got to know it, I got familiar with it, and I got the recognition from the founders to start LinkedIn Local in KL. In 2018, when we started, it was very challenging because when I was discussing with others that this is merely about networking and meeting up, they were like, dude, that may work in Europe, but not in Malaysia.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
If you just set up an event and say, okay, guys, come for no agenda, no theme, just for a conversation, and they'll be like, okay, we'll come there, but what do we get out of it? Like, what do we talk about? How do I know that the person I'm meeting is like-minded person? And so on. So we had these thoughts and discussions, and we thought that it could be a good option to localize it a little bit and add the panel discussion to it.
Okay.
So the panel discussion is introduced at the beginning 2018 January, and it was good until now. We've been doing it. We want to combine both learning and networking.
Yeah, I think the idea was good because I remember the first one you did. I don't know which was the location, but I still remember I want to sign up. After 2 or 3 days you posted it, and then I could not get a ticket already. So it was completely sold out only after a few days. And then for the second one, I was lucky enough to get a ticket there, but also it was just full, it was packed, right?
Yeah.
That was really amazing. Yeah, how, well, you said it's the challenge, it will not work, and then you add a small component like the panel or like sharing more insights or knowledge, right? And it was just packed.
Yeah, and the thing is that after having a lot of, like several of panel discussions, having that sort of events for several months, we also tried, what if we go with the no theme, no agenda version, like, and that's where we introduced the lepak session. We call it lepak. Lepak in Malay means like hangout.
Oh, okay.
So it's a lepak session, and that is not every month, but it is the original LinkedIn local that could happen around the world as well, like in Europe, in the US. It's literally nothing, no agenda, just come for the conversation, just come for meeting people.
Yeah.
And the response after a few months of, actually, so I think 7 to 8 months of doing the panel discussion version, it was very good.
Yeah, okay.
The first Lepak session that we had, it was at Drop KL. Sorry.
Yeah.
Back in August, I guess. And the turnout was very good. And I could see, like, before this, some were mentioning that, you know, people would come but they don't know what to talk about because they don't know each other. It's very strange.
True. Yeah, true.
But then in that session, I saw that they were quickly engaged. They could easily just talk to each other and get to know each other because everybody comes for that purpose.
Yeah.
You know that you're coming for that purpose to meet more people,
Yeah.
to expand your offline network. So usually it's okay. Now I can confidently say that even the no theme, no agenda one works in Malaysia.
Wow.
So
Okay,
if anyone else
impressive.
wants to do
well
it.
done. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Let me ask you one question. You had the discussion that before, and Homan also was confronted with exactly that question a little bit earlier. Maybe a little bit provocative, but why you as a foreigner are heading this local LinkedIn local Kuala Lumpur chapter? Were you the only one who was applying for that, or were you the guy who said I do that, or what is the reason? Why is it headed by a foreigner?
To be honest, I wouldn't look at it as a foreigner or local thing because your nationality, for example, your religion, your mother tongue, your skin color doesn't define who you are. So I would look at it in a way that maybe why you and not someone else, right? The first thing is that I already have the idea in mind. I wanted to do something similar before even getting to know LinkedIn Local. And the second thing was that it was a few years ago I came to this conclusion that if you want to do something, just do it. Don't think about it. And even if you don't know how, don't worry. Just start slow. And over time you can improve it a lot. So that's where since like several years ago I've been trying to just set new challenges, do different things, explore more in any way I can. It's also part of learning for myself as well. Like none of us are born perfect, right? So in order to do bigger and better, we have to start slow first. So I think the reason why could be that first I wanted to do something similar to that. The idea LinkedIn Local came up and I did it. Second was I wanted to set a new challenge, and third and the most important one was to provide that genuine ad-free and quality platform for everyone around the city. professionals, employers, employees, CEOs, directors, etc., could come together and expand their offline network. Me, I cannot guarantee that you're gonna get a business partner there, but I can guarantee that that would be your first step. Once you know more people, once you are in touch with more businesses, then for sure more collaborations, more partnerships could come in as well. Actually, I heard several times that between our panelists and our attendees separately, there were some sort of business partnerships later on that were formed, and that was exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so that, I mean, that's like what makes you happy in the end, right? The idea works, and well, I'm a foreigner myself, so I mean, it's a good thing, and I'm happy to see more communities, and there are communities, but of course, as Homan also shared earlier, the question came up, and then our point of view was just, doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
If local or not local, it's just important it happens, and you can create something of value to the participants, and then that's it.
Definitely, and I believe we even need more of such events in KL as well. Like, I think once a month is like not really sufficient. Yeah. But that is our limits. Our resources are limited, so we can't go for more. But if you guys, wanna or you, I don't know, wanna join, please do so.
Okay, that's cool.
Organize those events on your own. If I can help you in any way, sure I can. I will try my best. But my point is that we really need a lot more like this in KL, like what Startups.zone is doing, what LinkedIn Local is doing, and some other events that I've seen recently that are starting to create more value for the society, and that's really nice.
Okay,
nice to see.
Cool, yeah. Okay, I like that. Thanks so much for sharing that. Let's move it on. Your other assignments. I know you have a lot of talks, and the university invite you to talk to the students, to give them maybe a pep talk or share your experience already. And that's really amazing. I think the students appreciate these feedbacks are shared. Maybe tell us a little bit more, like what exactly you're doing, or what university should reach out to you, and what you like to talk about.
Thanks for your kind words. Actually, I'm not really a special person. I'm just a normal guy. Well, actually, I think the reason why some universities invite me to give a talk to students, there could be a few reasons. One could be is that I myself am a student. Mm-hmm. So I can relate to other students easier. They can relate to what I'm talking about easier. Mm-hmm. If, let's say, a successful CEO comes and have a talk, for them, they'll be like, okay, you're 40, 50 years old, you've gone through a lot of more stuff than we have at the age of like 19, 20. Mm-hmm. You're from a different generation. Maybe at that time, things were different. There was no social media. Things were different, right? Mm-hmm. They may not be able to relate as much to that person. Mm-hmm. But me, as a student from the same generation, same age, same commitments, well, even more commitments. If I say that I can do this and that, they'll be like, okay, he's one of us.
Yeah, true.
And they can relate to
same situation, right?
Yeah, same situation.
Same problems, same struggles.
Yeah, exactly. I've been exactly where you are. That could be one reason. Another reason is that like maybe I know a little bit about here and there, and I would love to share them with everyone, and they're happy to invite me, and I'm happy to join as well to have a talk. The last one was just recently. I was at Harriet Watt in Putrajaya, and the feedback was really great. That was my biggest audience so far. It was like over 400 students in two different sessions.
Wow, amazing.
And I was like shocked a bit, but but it was still manageable. Yeah. When I was there, I was like, hey, this is great. When you feel like you're helping a small portion of a generation, and you feel like you're giving an impact, you feel like happy inside, and that's where I was like, I love that, and I want to do more. Amazing. If there's anything I can help with, mentoring youth, speaking about productivity, about motivations, do's and don'ts, wasting time. Those things are what I've done now, and I've been invited for. I think
it's a good point. Let's talk about the productivity and the wasting time topic, because you posted recently on LinkedIn, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago, a very, very nice post that also gave a lot of attraction about wasting time or being efficient. Because you obviously do a lot of stuff, and students might be wondering how you put this stuff all together. And your reply was like a big post, but basically it was saying, well, I just don't waste my time in Instagram, Facebook, or scrolling Facebook or LinkedIn, or on watching useless YouTube videos, reading fake news, what else? WhatsApp and Twitter. I think I got it all now, right? So it was a huge post. Basically what you're saying is like, I just don't use social media or waste my time on social media, videos and fake news, and I focus on my stuff. That's what you're saying. Can you give a little bit more insights in that post that really
sure
was interesting?
You see, okay, first of all, let me start with something that any technology, anything that comes for our comfort, could be social media, could be smartphones, could be laptops, could be anything, right? They all come to bring a value to us and make life easier for us, more comfortable, more efficient, faster, not to make us waste our time. Even social media is there to help us connect with other friends, with other colleagues, or with other network in the city, you know.
You're using LinkedIn, right? You're heading LinkedIn local, so
exactly.
You're using it a lot. I see that. But what is the difference? When are you like using it efficiently? When does it help you to build your community, and when is it a waste of time?
Waste of time is when you spend like half a day on it. And I know you probably don't believe it, but trust me, you install one of those tracking apps on your phone that can track how many hours you use your phone every day and for what applications. You can see that on average, on average, I can say like not average, even below average, we spend at least 3 to 4 hours of our day on our phone. This is the normal one. So if you, let's say you watch a few YouTube videos that are long, it will be a lot more. So between like 3 to 6 hours is the average of spending time on our phones on doing things that are not necessary, like scrolling social media, Facebook, Instagram, you know, just scrolling, like no point, no value actually. When I wasn't aware of that. I think it was last year. I was trying to test that. Am I using my phone that much? I installed the app. I was also one of them that was using about 2 to 3 hours every day. Okay. But my applications that were highly used were a bit different, not Instagram and Facebook. It was other applications. But mostly it's about that. And I think in order to avoid wasting your time, one thing is first to know what your problem is, like which application are you using the most, and I think it's better to install those applications first and track in maybe a week or a month which applications are what I use the most. And the next could be to limit the time. You can limit it using the same application to say, okay, for example, YouTube, my daily limit is maximum 30 minutes. Once that time limit is reached, I'll automatically I get locked out of the app. Unless I do some crazy stuff to gain access again. But this is just a reminder for you to that, okay, 30 minutes is over, stop wasting your time and do more stuff. We all have 24 hours every day. And you know, if we spend it on wasting time, that's where others are gonna go ahead and move forward. That's, I think, one of the differences between those who succeed. Like the successful people like this, I know, like a lot of those that we all know about, they wake up early in the morning, they have a plan every day, what they want to do, what they have to achieve, and they have to get it done. Otherwise, tomorrow is like everything else is gonna be delayed. So yeah, I'm not saying don't use your phone, but use it in a in a way that you're supposed to.
Yeah, and control it, right? Figure
Yeah.
out first, do a small assessment, and then figure out, and then be like adult enough to limit it in the right way, right?
Yeah, and planning for the day is also very important. Like if you know tomorrow you're going to do A, B, and C, you wouldn't be like, oh my god, okay, so I have some free time now. What do I do? So straight away just go to A, then maybe you have some rest, and then go to B. Then you have maybe class or you have work or anything. Then you can go to C later.
Okay.
So you know that this is planned and you have to do it, and that will enhance your productivity.
That's cool. Maybe you share later the apps that you used, and
Sure.
we can add it in the description, so
Sure.
everyone can download it
Sure.
and use it, and then get more productive.
Sure.
That's cool. Yeah. So any other recommendations besides the phone, like using it more smartly to the youth, like how they can be more efficient, more productive, wasting less time?
Well, actually,
Or is it just the phone? Is it for you just the phone thing?
No, I have actually a lot to say. I'm not sure if the
I
time
think
allows.
we have like 5 minutes left. Oh, now only 3 minutes left.
Okay.
So maybe the top one tip that you have besides the mobile phone.
Okay, for youth, you're a student most probably, and you're studying either high school, college, or university. I would strongly recommend you to do more things that as a student you're supposed to. Join events, join competitions, organize those things, join committees in different clubs in your university, because as you do those things, as you try out and explore more, you can gain more insights. Even if you fail, at least you know something that the guy who didn't try it doesn't know about. So in my dictionary, there is no such a word as failure, because either you succeed or you learn something new.
Nice.
And now is the time to do all those mistakes, right? Because
Yes.
now you're a student, nobody cares
Yeah.
how many times we fail at a certain thing, or not your subjects. Yeah, I'm talking about your other things. But over time, after we graduate, we are like a person with 3 years of experience in certain things. And that's when we can tell, okay, I am a bit different from other graduates, because we're all students, we all study the same thing, same international reference books, same maybe millions of other students study the same thing as you. But when you graduate, you're all the same. You're all graduates of maybe Bachelor of Engineering with great grades, and then that's it. How are you different from others, right? What makes you more employable than someone else, right?
Okay.
So those are anything that comes outside the classroom. Those activities that you do as a student, working experiences, internships, these are very, very important.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Thank you so much. I think that's a great closing word. Thank you so much, Alish, for coming here.
My pleasure.
And for you, I hope you enjoyed the talk. Alish, you can meet him here in Malaysia, every LinkedIn local, and we put also the social media and the contact details where they can reach out to you. Thank you very much, and we see you next week for another talk.
Thank you so much. May I just one more thing regarding the connecting with me? Actually, this year it is officially my plan to help as many youth as I can. So if you think that I can help you, I'm not sure whatever you want to call it, mentorship, guidance, sharing session, whatever you call it, I'm happy to help in any way I can. Just get connected. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Patrick, for inviting me.
Thank you, Alish.
Thank you,
Thanks a
Humam,
lot.
as well.
Okay.